There is a fire inside those who've worked tirelessly to become the best talent, the ones who've mastered their craft, who've endured sleepless nights, crushing doubts, and relentless pressure. Yet all that brilliance often meets a wall, a place where raw talent alone doesn't unlock the door to impact or influence. For many of the finest minds, there's a brutal truth. Exceptional skills don't automatically translate into power, trust, or meaningful opportunity. The world around them feels rigid, confined by invisible rules, old hierarchies, and empty promises of freedom. Why does this happen? It's because talent by itself is not enough anymore. Talent is endless, but opportunity isn't. You can be the absolute best analyst, coder, marketer, or strategist, but if you don't fit into the mold, if you don't play the game like the system demands, your potential is silently crushed. The problem isn't a lack of ability, it's misalignment. It's the chasm between raw talent and the structures meant to celebrate genius. Investors crave the extraordinary, but few systems allow the extraordinary to thrive outside the system's narrow definitions. The pain here isn't just professional frustration, it's deeply personal. The crushing isolation of not feeling seen, the gnawing doubt seeded by repeated rejection, by doors closing quietly in your face. It's the suffocating weight of knowing you are capable of extraordinary things yet trapped by the bureaucracies, the social rituals, the rules nobody talks about, but everyone obeys. The best talent turns into invisible smoke. No name, no voice, no stage big enough to catch the spark they carry. For those who've burned bright in their fields but feel their efforts stall, this moment is a call to rethink everything. What if the real barrier is not about being better or working harder, but about changing the way you join the world of venture partners? What if the missing piece isn't knowledge or capital, but connection and alignment? What if becoming a venture partner is less about titles or legacy and more about becoming a force that deliberately transcends traditional boundaries? This is where transformation begins. When the best talent turns into venture partners, who don't just invest money, but ignite movements, shift futures, and unleash change. The key isn't to blend into existing gatekeeper systems, but to rewrite what being a partner means. It is about taking sovereignty, owning your will like the sharpest weapon, and refusing to be a cog trapped in preordained paths. The power lies in questioning everything: the accepted norms, the so-called rules of the game, and even your own preconceptions about what success must look like. Becoming this kind of venture partner demands more than skills. It requires a relentless drive to break free from comforting illusions. It demands a refusal to settle for the small victories handed down by conventional wisdom. The world says, be patient, play safe, follow established rules. But true transformation happens on the edge, where fierce individuals burn with impatience and raw conviction. The rare few who accept this challenge don't merely accept the invitation to join the system. They become the architects of a new one. How? By carefully choosing whom they align with. The power of rare talent is not just in solo brilliance, but in forming uncompromising bonds with those whose fire burns just as hot. Together, they create a brutally synergistic network that outperforms any old institution or loosely connected community. This isn't about expanding noise or increasing numbers. It's about amplifying essence. The essence of disruptive courage, refusal to conform, and relentless becoming. But it goes deeper than alliance. It's about patient endurance, a willingness to play the long game when the world craves quick wins and fleeting fame. This patient resilience separates those who transform themselves into venture partners with real power from those who remain lost in the noise. Because real power, true, lasting influence, takes time to build. It demands tough questions, hard conversations, sustained fire, and unshakable confidence in the path that only you see. And here's the crucial insight. This journey doesn't make life easier. It makes life yours. It tears down every false comfort and substitutes it with raw freedom, the freedom to create, influence, and build on your own terms. Venture partners who embrace this path don't wait to be chosen. They become the rare signal in a world drowning in white noise. They don't just invest, they ignite. They don't seek to fit in. They demand to be understood and respected as the forces they are. This transformation requires inhabiting contradiction, holding space for individuality while forging unbreakable collective strength. The world is fragmented by borders and barriers, but the venture partner who transcends this understands that strength comes from honoring what makes each individual different, while stitching those differences into unity. Through this radical respect for contrast, power multiplies in ways the old systems cannot fathom. Let's be clear. This path is not for the comfortable or the compliant. It is for those restless souls who feel that unbearable tension inside, the whisper that says, "You were meant for more." For those who refuse to live borrowed lives dictated by outdated dogma and broken promises. For those who would rather burn than be silent. For those driven not by the desire to earn status, but to create legacies that rewrite what's possible. Emerging into this reality means embracing a network that was missing for too long. One where the rare find each other not by chance but by design. A place where misaligned brilliance becomes the aligned power, where misunderstood visionaries connect not just intellectually, but at a level that electrifies creation. In this network, your talents don't just matter, they explode with purpose, fueled by the synergy that only a truly autonomous complementary group can produce. This isn't hype. It's a rebellion against the false promises that have defined the modern world. It's a liberation from the invisible chains disguised as comfort, security, and false equality. The venture partner who breaks free understands that the greatest slavery is smiling and promising freedom, while quietly burying the fire beneath convenience. This realization is the beginning of something fierce. Each moment spent doubting or standing on the sidelines is a moment lost, a spark going cold. But when the best talent fully embraces their role as a venture partner, one who fiercely owns their impact, questions systems, aligns with firebrands, and endures with patience, they become unstoppable. They become the signal, the spark, the force changing trajectories not in decades, but now. This is the power of the liberated individual fused into a collective of the few. It's where the future is sculpted, not by the many who play it safe, but by the few who refuse to wait. These few don't just invest capital, they invest spark, vision, and relentless energy into futures no one else dares to imagine. They are the problem solvers who don't accept the broken status quo. Instead, they create new realities from the edges, from the places that others fear to tread. So every second spent watching this is a call to action. Don't just be talented. Be transformative. Don't seek to fit into old frameworks. Build new ones. Don't settle for fleeting influence. Forge enduring power. Because when the best talent becomes venture partners who burn as bright as they think, who align their fire with others just as restless, who practice ruthless freedom instead of empty promises, that's when revolutions start. There's no room here for hesitation or half measures. The world does not need more followers or safe bets. It demands rare individuals capable of transcending every limit, who understand that true success is born from struggle, sovereign purpose, and relentless becoming. This is how the next wave of venture partners will change not only industries, but the very fabric of what we call reality. The system you see may feel fixed and unshakable, but it's built on assumptions, fragile and breakable. The key is in refusing to accept those assumptions. The call is to rise above comfort, disarm consensus, and become more than you ever thought possible, together with those who dare just as much. When this rare brilliance connects, unstoppable force emerges. Ask yourself, am I ready to stop being a silent talent and start becoming a vital, liberated venture partner? To replace isolation with connection? To forgive the past but burn the old rulebook? To hold fire not just inside, but in the company of others who see your spark and ignite their own? Because when this happens, what was once impossible begins to feel inevitable. There will be hard days and moments that test every ounce of your will. But the payoff is a life owned fully and fiercely. A life where the best talent doesn't just wait to be invited, but commands the room, the market, and the future itself. This is not a fantasy. It's a roadmap, built in blood, grit, and unity by those who refuse to accept anything less. So take this moment. Lean in. Let the fire inside you meet fire from others who refuse to fade quietly. Be the partner who doesn't just fund or advise, but who transforms. Be the spark that turns rare talent into a revolution. Because when that happens, the world no longer just watches, you lead.